Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from Italy. Pope Francis visited 2 lay communities in the Tuscany region of Italy on the same day this past week. His first visit was with the Nomadelphia community, whose name means the law of fraternity. Families in the community renounce all personal possessions and take in orphans, abandoned children, and marginalized young people, entrusting them to families or to mothers by vocation, who are laywomen who do not marry but raise many of the adopted children.
Pope Francis visited a small Catholic community, but a very significant one. It's called Nomadelphia. Here, they live like the first Christian communities, sharing everything. The Pope visited the tomb of its founder, Father Zeno Saltini. After World War II, the priest took in orphaned or abandoned children before later deciding to give them a family. Various mothers dedicated themselves to being their mothers by vocation. Eventually, married couples also arrived. Since then, they've been treating their adopted children the same as their biological ones. Members told Pope Francis the community's story through this musical spectacle.
Molti pensano che Nomadelphia sia un'utopia.
Ma se vogliamo che un altro mondo sia possibile, l'unica cosa da fare è vivere come se già esistesse.
During the visit, the Pope met with many families, like these 2, who live their Christian vocation in this way.
Noi siamo una coppia di sposi di Nomadelphia, siamo nati e cresciuti a Nomadelphia e siamo sposati da 25 anni e abbiamo 11 figli.
Io sono una mamma di vocazione, sono qui da 30 anni.
Di fronte alle sofferenze di bambini orfani o segnate dal disagio, Don Zeno comprese che l'unico linguaggio che essi comprendevano era quello dell'amore. Pertanto seppe individuare una peculiare forma di società dove non c'è spazio per l'isolamento o la solitudine, ma vige il principio della collaborazione tra diverse famiglie, dove i membri si riconoscono fratelli nella fede.
Afterward, the Pope went by helicopter to the Focolare movement's little town of LoBiondo, where about 850 people from 65 different nations live and more than 30,000 people visit each year. Though the movement is Catholic, the community welcomes people from all faiths as it seeks to be a model of how to build unity in diversity. The movement's founder, the late Chiara Lubeck, wanted to create little towns which would be examples of peaceful coexistence based on the gospel value of mutual love. In his remarks, the Pope told them they must continually keep the memory of their roots alive if they are to keep harvesting fruit for the future. And he said, no matter how busy, how demanding, how difficult the day, keep smiling and finding ways to make others smile too. The grace of a sense of humor, he said, gets you closer to God's grace. In news from the Vatican, a Caritas bus from Poland received a special blessing from Pope Francis recently. The bus will travel along with a statue of Our Lady of Aleppo across Poland and will end its journey in late August at the Warsaw Stadium. The purpose of the initiative is to help Syria, especially victims of persecution, through raising awareness, funds, and prayers for peace in Syria.
This is the vehicle that transports hopes and dreams, most literally those of 3 Syrian exiles who escaped from their country to Poland during the war. The bus also carries the hope that the conflict in Syria ends as soon as possible.
The war, it's like as much as I speak, I cannot deliver the real experience because it's very hard to experience this kind of life. With the ruins, with the fights, with the battles, with the tanks in the street, with the people killing in front of you. We should be thankful for everything in our life, and the message is that I hope this will end soon in all of the world, and all the world will have peace soon, because really it's tragedy.
Bashar studies in Poland thanks to a grant from Caritas Poland and is a part of the Young Bus. This initiative will run through 100 Polish cities, promoting volunteering for young people and seeking help for Syria. The project could not have had a better kickoff point than this, Pope Francis's blessing. They explained the objective of the initiative to him.
To be with the Pope was very impactful and important because he is a person who is very loved and the whole world would like to meet him. To be able to pray with him and hug him was one of the best experiences in my life.
Caritas Poland has created the Family to Family program where a family or a parish in Poland adopts a Syrian family for a 6-month period. 17,000 Polish families have collaborated to maintain 12,000 Syrian families. In news from around the country, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops' Secretariat of Laity, Marriage, Family Life, and Youth, in collaboration with its ad hoc National Advisory Team on Young Adult Ministry, is convening a National Young Adult Ministry Summit May 15th through the 17th at the St. John Paul II National Shrine in Washington. Over 130 pastoral leaders working in Catholic young adult ministry across the country will be attending the summit. The USCCB said the summit will focus on peer conversation and networking around best practices and emerging models of ministry with young adults, especially in view of the upcoming October Synod of Bishops and the growing number of young adults in their 20s and 30s who have no religious affiliation. And finally in the news, one of the newest feasts to the liturgical calendar is fast approaching. On May 21st, the new feast of Mary, Mother of the Church, will be celebrated. The new feast day, which will be celebrated annually the day after Pentecost, was announced in a decree by the Congregation for Divine Worship and the Sacraments. The decree said that Pope approved the celebration because he thought it might encourage the growth of the maternal sense of the Church in the pastors, religious and faithful, as well as a growth of genuine Marian piety. The Detroit Archdiocese is celebrating the new feast day with a May 21st Mass at Old St. Mary's Catholic Church in Detroit. After Mass, there will be a May crowning and procession through the streets with a statue of Mary carried by Catholic school students. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.